I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm a coach who's worked with people, helping them find work at an executive level. I also do life coaching and leadership coaching. And I've been a complainer about how firms interview for fit. I'm just going to summarize it very quickly and say that when most firms interview for fit, they're using completely subjective criteria that can introduce bias into the equation. For example, I don't like them. Why? I don't know. I don't like them. Well, what does that really do? I'm a big believer that you interview for qualifications. And then from there, since you're not using any objective measures to evaluate your own people, you're not using any objective measures to evaluate this person, instead of going for gut, you start off by going for qualifications. And if you're having someone interview for you, you give them information about what you want them to cover in the interview, how you want them to do it, and respond by saying, and debrief them by asking, did you find that they were qualified? That's it. If they go, I don't know, then you probe. So, they gave me an answer that, I don't know. Well, you have to go into greater detail or then re-interview them again. Because it's not enough to deal with soft factors, because that's really where a person's biases shows up. I don't like them. Maybe I don't like working with strong women. I don't like working with foreigners. Any number of different biases show up in the equation that you have to get out of the process. However, I am a big believer in interviewing for core values. And I had a wonderful conversation with an old client of mine this week who was doing a presentation for his firm. And we were talking about my opinions of fit. And he said, we've got some very strong core values that we really believe in. I said, that's fine. Core values to me, where a person signals in the course of their answer to questions that they don't match up with core values, that's a valid criteria. So for example, they have a core value around teamwork. And when you get someone who's all me-oriented, well, rather than just simply reject them, you have to go investigate what it was, because it could have been them who was the one who really was the impetus for change. But I want to give you an acronym that I've learned from a guy named Lance Secretan, who's a coach who's developed this model called the Castle Principles. And it's a wonderful model for evaluating people. So let me just walk you through it. C in Castle is courage. Tell me about a time in your past where you had to face the headwinds and still stood your ground. Now, this isn't about being oppositional to teamwork, but it's about having strong belief. Because to me, change often comes from small incremental steps to move forward. Or tell me about a time in your life where you had to make a change and it was difficult. Maybe it was at work, maybe it was at your personal life. That's important. Authenticity. You're getting a sense that a person is authentic in what they say, which in an interview is a tough thing to do because you're on good behavior and so are they. So you look for ways to break down the barriers between you. Service. How this person has been in service to others in their life. It could be outside of work. It could be inside of work. How have they served others? Truthfulness. Tell me about something hard that you had to take on. Tell me about something that was difficult to say to someone who you did. And you notice that also covers courage too. Love. Tell me about a situation where you loved up one of your people, where, by that I mean, you showed some care for them as they were dealing with something struggling, where maybe you pitched in a difficult situation with your team. Love. And lastly, effectiveness, because you can't be effective without all these things in place. No one wants to work for someone who's inauthentic, right? No one wants to work for someone who's just looking out for themselves or who acts like a drone. So to me, core values is a valid thing to interview. interview for. And I use this model as I evaluate people. I'm going to encourage you to do much the same thing. I'm going to do more videos about this on another occasion, but I'll simply say, look at this model and come up with your own questions around courage, authenticity, service, truthfulness, love, and effectiveness. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. Hope you found this helpful. Visit jobsearchcoachinghq.com if you're looking for work. I no longer do recruiting. I'm an executive job search and leadership coach. I do life coaching as well. I'd love to help you. Have a great day. Take care.